Hello YouTube and Happy New Year 2017. I think a lot of us are happy to see the end of 2016 and are looking forward to a kind of fresh start for 2017 and hope that this year is a bit better than the previous one. So today I want to talk about bookish New Year's resolutions. So I've had a bit of trouble getting into reading lately. I did read 3 books in one day for the Dewey's 24-hour readathon back in October, and unfortunately, I think that kind of broke my reading muscles for a while. I didn't really read a whole lot of books after that. I only read 1 book in the entire month of November. So it is only the second day of 2017 as I film this, and I know that New Year's is, to be honest, a completely arbitrary holiday that we've set at some point in the year, but I've always loved New Year's because I feel like it gives me an opportunity to look back on the previous year, look at what I've learned and experienced and how I've grown, and then set goals for the coming year to consider how I want the next year to be different. So a couple weeks ago, in the spirit of starting a fresh start with the new year, I decided it was time to finally get my TBR under control. And by my TBR, I mean the books I own that I have not read. And there are a lot of them, both in physical format and ebooks. So I made a spreadsheet of all of them, which was helpful in itself because I have a lot of ebooks as well, and so sometimes I forget that those are even there because they're not right in front of my face like these are. So I made a list and decided that I'm going to reinstate something I tried a couple years ago, which was to only buy books after I've read 4 of the books that I own that I haven't read. So that way, once I eventually finish all of the books, I will have a quarter of the books that I started with that I haven't read, which would be a much more reasonable number, trust me. So in this new endeavor, I have a couple obstacles that I think will make it somewhat challenging. So I wanted to talk about those and see what you all think, if you all have any advice on basically how to get back into reading again or how to get back into hobbies that I enjoy. So the first challenge is finding time to read. I think cutting back on social media will help a lot with that because we all know the internet never ends. And so you can start on Facebook and then 4 hours later you're on Wikipedia reading about the history of herbal tea, which, not that the history of herbal tea isn't worthy of note, but I feel like sometimes those 4 hours would have been much better spent reading. I want to start participating in more of my hobbies that make me feel at the end of the day like I've made good use of my time doing something I genuinely enjoy that makes me feel refreshed instead of making me feel drained. So any suggestions on how to find more time to read would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, I think social media minimization will be a huge help. I've had mixed success with audiobooks in the past. I really like reading them, but I also really enjoy listening to music on my commute too, so it's kind of a balancing act of trying to have time to do both. So yeah, any suggestions on how to find more time to read would be greatly appreciated. And obstacle number 2, I love booktube. I haven't been on here as much recently because I've been in kind of a reading slump, but when I do come on here, I invariably find tons of books recommended by other booktubers that I then want to read, and a lot of them are new, so they can't be bought used really, and so I have to get them at the library. So what ends up happening is I watch some videos, find some books I want to read, go to the library, check them out, read half of them, pay fines on all of them when I turn them back in late because I thought that I would have time to read all of them, and then I wonder why the shelves of books that I haven't read are still full. So fellow booktube fans, how do you all find a balancing act between reading new books that are coming out that you're hearing about on booktube, but also reading your backlog, if you have one, of books that you haven't read that you own? The only partial solution I've come up with so far is I joined a group on Goodreads that is doing a kind of 2017 challenge where we read books that fit certain criteria. And so I already have some books in mind from my shelves that will fit those criteria. So I'm going to try and prioritize reading those. But again, any other suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I still have to make time to read those books, and there's a lot of long books that I want to read soon, like the second book in the Patrick Rothfuss Kingkiller Chronicles series, Robin Hobb. I've been wanting to read 11/22/63 by Stephen King forever because I love time travel. So yeah, I have a lot of long books I want to read, and I haven't read a long book in a long time. So if you have any tips on finding more time to read, or generally on finding more time for the hobbies that I genuinely enjoy instead of getting sucked into taking BuzzFeed quizzes on which character from Hamilton I most like, please leave those in the comments. I would love to hear them. And I would also love to hear if you have any bookish New Year's resolutions or any New Year's resolutions for 2017 in general. I'm hoping, if all goes well, to post more in 2017 about books and maybe more about foreign languages and who knows what else, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, I hope that 2017 is already treating you a little bit better than 2016 treated most of us. So hang in there, and until next time, thank you for watching.